Alright, let's do this. Time to feed the viewers. What time is it? 11:59? Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Alright, what do I got here? What do I have for you guys? Listen to this. Microsoft shift Xbox gaming handheld ambitions to third-party Windows handheld. Postpone 2027 launch plans. It says here, we've reported on Microsoft development of a custom Xbox gaming handheld a number of times. With Microsoft gaming handheld, Phil Spencer recently confirms a foray into that hardware was in the works. Now it seems as though Microsoft has shelved the idea for the meantime, instead putting its weight behind developing and optimizing Windows for third-party games handhelds like Asus ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go. According to Windows Central, Microsoft is still planning on developing its own Xbox gaming handheld, but that product will no longer launch alongside the Xbox Series X and S as previously planned. It says, according to the report, a recent internal announcement at Microsoft indicate that Microsoft will be shifting its development team to focus on its partner's device. One such device is the rumored Xbox brand Asus ROG Ally handheld, which is supposedly targeting a late 2025 launch. It seemed as though Microsoft renewed efforts would have it optimizing both Windows-based layers and the Xbox software component that are to be used on current and future gaming handhelds hardware. It's almost certain that Microsoft has an uphill battle now that Valve has officially released SteamOS for third-party gaming handheld. There is speculation that the sizable performance and efficiency gap between Windows and SteamOS may be to blame for Microsoft's sudden shift in strategy. Now it seems as though Microsoft Xbox Series X and S successor is still planned to launch in 2027, but the Xbox handheld will likely launch after that. Here's another article from NeoWind. They said Microsoft hit the pause on Xbox handheld, supercharged Windows 11 gaming. Windows 11 gaming. It says Microsoft was getting ready to enter the handheld gaming device category with an Xbox handheld. The gaming device was expected to be released in 2025 and was aimed at taking on the Steam Deck and other Windows-based handheld powered by SteamOS. The device was expected to take design cues from the Xbox look, and it will be a native project. Then reports suggest that it will be developed with third-party developers such as Lenovo, Asus, or MSI. Reports also suggest that Asus had taken charge to bring the Xbox handheld device to the market, with leaks, regulatory photos giving us a glimpse of how the upcoming device will look. Now a fresh report has popped up claiming that Microsoft was indeed working on a native-built Xbox handheld device, which for now has been sidelined. The company has reportedly shifted focus to enhance Windows 11 gaming performance across third-party handhelds, including the one under development by Asus. And then it says, according to Windows Central, Insider revealed that Microsoft is focusing on development of Asus handheld device codenamed Project Keenan. This is to take on growing popularity of Valve SteamOS. SteamOS handhelds such as the Steam Decks are outperforming Windows 11 based device in terms of power, performance, and efficiency. Asus Project Keenan is supposed to launch by the end of this year, and almost likely the hardware side of things is finalized. Software experiences where Microsoft and Asus are giving more time to polish, as they want to give the best Windows 11 gaming experience on portable devices. Enhance of Xbox app functionality is also one of the objectives, along with streamlining system performance that will elevate the gaming experience on handhelds like Asus ROG Ally and Legion Go. It says here the good news: Microsoft hasn't given up on its native handheld dreams. Reportedly, the company is still invested in the development of its own handheld device, but for now, it has pivoted to helping third-party hardware development and perfecting it. Well, we got one comment here. Let's see what they're talking about here. Who is this? Sagum said this. Oh no, please stay away from gaming, Microsoft. It still works at the moment. And then over on Tech Power Ups, the first article I read, their comments went like this. It says one person said Chaitanya said this. Why not just concentrate on making a decent OS and leave the hardware to all current handheld makers? And then Freedom said this. He says, a week late and $1 short is what I would have named this handheld console. Either be there at the starting line when the form factor is taken off, and having a resurgent, or offer a better product than the competition to make it a more compelling. But if you are late, making it more compelling, buy if you are late to the party. And then Barr said this. He says, what? He said, what? Will no longer launch alongside the Xbox Series X and S as planned. Them bad boys launch in 2020. IDK. What launch alongside your meaning besides that one? This is definitely going to be a flop. Microsoft is going to work harder to develop for current hardware companies, then release theirs. Sounds DUMB to me. And then he says, thanks for the info. And then Hyder said this. Microsoft will bring back games for Windows Live. Oh no, the horror just joking. Handhelds are on the rise. I remember there was a time when smartphones getting more powerful, and they say handhelds are pretty much dead. Well, it looks like it's well and kicking. Well, remember before all this, I was telling you that they had Game Pass to work on, right? And plus they got games to make, and then they have plus they got the Xbox console to deal with. I remember making a video too saying which way are they going? Are they going the Steam Deck route, or are they going the Wii U's route? But then I also said too, why would ASUS be helping Microsoft building a handheld when they got the ROG to deal with? So when they made an announcement about this, I was still kind of on the side, like it's not adding up. And then about a week or two ago now, news came out that the Steam OS outperformed Windows by a nice margin. And with me saying that now, that is the reason why they halt and pivoted, because that gap between Steam OS and Windows on these handheld is huge. So what Microsoft is doing now is focusing on like the ASUS ROG by improving the Windows 11 gaming experience on these handhelds, you know. But he said, who is this? He said, Freedom said this. Either be there at the starting line. Be there at the starting line when the form factor is taken off, and having a resurgent, or offer better products than the competition. And then it says to make it more compelling, buy if you are late to the party. So when Valve came out with the Steam Deck, I remember on Xbox One, Microsoft had just took a cell phone and had two Razer controllers, and that was their way of like streaming games to your phone and playing. But when Valve came out with the Steam Deck and they showed God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn running on the Steam Deck, and then Gabe Newell said we couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. When the Steam Deck came out, man, it was off to the race. The race really started. And I remember saying Valve need to be in the news more. So what they did, they opened a line of communication with the user base of the Steam Deck, of the 64 gig model 256 512, and it's been a communication thing back and forth. And updates were just coming in like this, like ants, and they haven't looked back since. So now Microsoft, I mean, they just bought Mahjong, they bought ZeniMax Bethesda, they bought Activision Blizzard, but then they're seeing the Steam Deck having success, and then you're seeing competitors like Asus, Lenovo, MSI coming out of the woodworks now. The Xbox user base, I think they felt kind of left out. And then, you know, of course you have Nintendo with the Switch, you know. Then Sony, even though they put their games on PC, they too is watching the Steam Deck and these portable PCs having success. What's up, Cat? So they decide like, okay, we're gonna make a handheld too. They made the Portal to fill the void until they come out with something, but they got a user base for that now. But anyway, what's up? Why you want come here? Come here. But anyway, Sony made the Portal, so now all this is happening, and then Microsoft is watching this now. They're like, you know what? We got to come out with a handheld. But now with the news of now the Steam OS doing so good, and then now Valve is making the Steam OS available, and of course the news that came out, you know, now they're pivoting because they got to improve the infrastructure of Windows to be more user friendly when it comes to these handhelds. You know, like I told you a couple days ago, while Microsoft is working on Windows, trying to make it, to improve it, Valve is going to keep on adding on top of what they already have. I remember telling you guys this. So yeah, they said 2027 they're going to come out with this handheld. You know, so I mean they got 2 years now. This is 2025, 2026, 2027. They got 2 years to really fix Windows for Windows for these handheld devices. But still, while they're doing that, the gap now between Windows, the gap that the Steam OS have over Windows now, it's gonna keep getting a little wider, you know. So yeah, yeah, man, yeah. So like one commenter said, is either you're there from the start, you know. You're there from the start, you know. So, but nobody really saw that the Steam Deck, that this handheld, this is a 64 gig model. Nobody saw the onslaught that was coming from Valve. Gabe Newell and the crew. Yeah. So nobody saw that coming, man. But once they showed God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn running on this, yeah. the race began, man. The competitors seeing the Steam Deck and they're like, oh, Gabe Newell is like, okay, we can find, they said we couldn't find a game the Steam Deck couldn't run. The competitors is like, okay, we get it. They're like, okay, really? Okay, we get it now. So what you're saying, that we can build our handheld as powerful as yours too, or even more powerful. They got it, man. So now, you know, with Valve leading the charge, man, you know, Microsoft, to me right now, Microsoft is trying to play catch up. You know, it's trying to play catch up. I mean, don't get me wrong, Windows got a big user base, But for gaming right now, Steam OS is like, Windows is here and Steam OS is like here. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So Microsoft got some work to do as far as like infrastructure wise on Windows 11 to get it even, I mean, close to what Steam OS is doing. But while they're doing that, Valve is going to add more features on top of Steam OS. You know, it's called applying pressure. So yeah, man. But Xbox, I mean, Microsoft got Game Pass to deal with, and of course they got the Xbox user base to deal with, and of course, you know, I mean, they got plenty of games to make, so they got their work cut out for them, man. But yeah, they're seeing this. They're seeing what the Steam Deck is doing, so they need about a couple of years to like really fix Windows, you know, to make it even try to compete with Steam OS right now, as far as gaming is concerned. But yeah, anyway, man, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video too. You know, let me know your thoughts too on this. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, the Star Wars Search the thing. Dark Side. Go. Peace.